Okay, I'm going to do a quick demo of how to produce 6 animation frames for real-world fly fishing using HD video as the source and using Camtasia Studio as the tool. First thing we're going to do is import some media, so we're going to go to a site that hasn't already been done and grab the video file. As soon as that comes up, we will add it to our track 1 down here. Control plus will zoom in. I'll go all the way in. I always jump a few seconds into the video just to get rid of any camera shake that might have been going on from starting the video. Hit S to split the video clip. Select the left end and delete it. Grab the right end, slide it over. Now we need to go 1 second and 18 frames into the video. It's 30 frames per second, so this is 48 frames. Hit S again. Now I split it, clip the end. So now I have 48 frames. If we go into 106, that's 3/4 of the way through. S again, splits it. If we go into 0 seconds and 24 frames, we're halfway through. Same thing, split it. And then at 12, select it, split it. So now we have 4 clips that together make up a little over a second of video, 48 frames, a little over a second and a half. We're now going to add some more tracks. We need 4 total. I'm going to take the first clip and drag it over the second. I'm going to take the third clip and drag it way up to the top and all the way over to the left, and the fourth clip, put that under here. Next step, this will make sense in a bit. Transitions. We are going to do a fade in on the top one here and a fade in on the top of these two. Now this one ends where this one begins, so overlapping the two, this one fading into that one, you'll get a seamless transition. This alone would give us a 24 frame loop that would be seamless if we just took this and exported it. But we would have it cycling from really clear at the ends to fuzzier. I'll show you what I mean. So here it's really sharp. You can see the example. The sample frame. If I jump to the middle, it's blending the two, so the detail, it all looks a little softer. Some higher contrast water, it's going to show more than this. Okay, but next step, we are going to select tracks 3 and 4, and we're going to go to visual properties and change the opacity to 50. What that does is make these halfway transparent. We are going to copy those two, so the same track 3 and track 4, Control C. I'm going to click to the end of them and paste. So now we have 2 copies of it, and we're going to select all 4 of these, and we are going to drag them so that they are centered over the other 2. We can check that by going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames in. We should be right at the seam, and we are. Okay, from here to here, it gives us 24 frames with 2 overlapping seamless loops. But the upper one, tracks 3 and 4, we're going to start in the middle of the loop where it's fuzzy. The bottom one we're going to start at the beginning where it's clear. By the time we get to the middle, the top one's clear, the bottom one's fuzzy, and then so on. So anyway, this blends 2 overlapping loops to give us one seamless one with a consistent amount of sharpness. So to generate our 6 frames, we do position ourselves at the beginning of the bottom one, Control F, and we're going to go to the right folder to save these guys, and I will call the first one F1. I've noticed sometimes the very first frame doesn't get saved, so I've got to double check and make sure that happens. But I go 2 frames forward, 1, 2 with the right arrow, Control F, frame 1's there, F2, 1, 2, Control F, F3, 1, 2, Control F, F4, F5, and F6. Now, to check these out, I'm going to browse to that folder. Here we go. And we are on the Musconetcong River, Site 3. These are stills that I shot on the same shoot. I've got a copy of them elsewhere, but for purposes of this outing, I'm just going to clean them up. Take the first one and do a preview. Let's get this guy over in the recording area. Okay, so this is the first frame. If I press the right arrow, we should see it advance a little bit, and it did, and again, and again and again, and I can just keep tapping the right arrow and we should see water moving. You'll notice things like leaves can be a big distraction, but you'll see this one fade out. The leaf starts there and it fades out to there and back. So it is kind of doing some magic, but that's much less distracting than it blinking in and out of existence in one place. At least it fades away. So there we have 6 frames that give us a really nice flow. That's how it's done using Camtasia Studio. Of course, other video editing tools can do this too. You need the ability to make to do fade-ins or fade-outs. If we did a fade-out, we would just change the order. We would put this one on the bottom and have that one fade out. You get the same effect. And you need the ability to overlay one video over the other with one of them being 50% transparent. But that's the technique. Again, use another tool if you want, but Camtasia Studio, it's not cheap, but it's really powerful and for me very reliable, more so than the free ones that I've tried. So I think it's worth the money. That is what I call the 48 to 6 technique, because it goes 48 frames down to 6, and 6 is what real world fly fishing currently supports, and 6 seems to be enough to give pretty realistic flow to photographic water scenes.